Hey, welcome to America's Roots Kitchen. I'm Rob, and we're going to explore home-cooked meals from across the country. Let's get started. Today we're going to make fresh green beans from the garden. We have cleaned and snapped, washed, prepped, ready to go green beans. I have 2 cups of ham. I have about 6 cups of green beans. I have 1 medium to large yellow onion, rough chopped. I have about 4 cups potatoes, new potatoes, little redskins. I have my spice mix and a chopped up slice of bacon. Actually, I have 2 slices of bacon. And in my spice mix, I have 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, a tablespoon of garlic, a tablespoon of onion powder, and a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is turn our fire on to a high heat. Spray a little cooking spray. And we're going to add our couple slices of bacon. And what we want to do now is just let that bacon render down a little bit, get some good grease and flavor, some of that smoke flavor for your beans. Listen to that bacon sizzle. Give it a stir. We don't want to burn that bacon. We're just wanting to get some of the oils out of it, get some of the flavor into our beans. And you don't have to use bacon. I'm actually going to use ham also, but if you don't like bacon, you can leave that out. And if you like this to be a vegetarian dish, you can use the same. You can leave your ham out, your bacon out. Add a touch of liquid smoke. That will give you that. And you can use vegetable broth instead of chicken broth. That will give you essentially the same flavor. Okay, so our bacon's starting to render down a little bit. You can see we got some nice oil and grease in there. And the first thing I like to do, add in my onions. Let those flavors get in there. Wow, that smells good already. The next thing I'm going to do is add in my ham. Now I just rough chopped everything. It's not necessarily diced. Everything's just rough chopped. Now I'm going to add in a tablespoon of minced garlic. And we don't want those onions browning really, just turn them translucent. Now we'll add in our spices. Get those all stirred around in there. Wow, that smells great. Now we're going to add in our beans. Goes around and add our chicken broth. I use chicken broth, but like I say, if you want this to be vegetarian, leave out the meat, use vegetable stock. Now these are going to cook for a couple hours. So I use about 1.5 quarts of chicken stock. Give that a stir so all the spices and flavors get mixed up. And now I add in 4 cups of cold water. Give that all a stir. and about a teaspoon of black pepper. Now notice I'm not adding any salt because your chicken stock will have a lot of salt. And yes, your broth might get a little salty, but it shouldn't be too bad. You want salt as it reduces down, since I'm using chicken stock, could get salty. But you're not eating your broth. You're wanting that flavor in the beans itself. Now we have all that in. Our beans are on there cooking. It'll probably take about an hour, hour and a half before those beans are good and tender for a good Appalachian style fresh green bean. We will add in our potatoes probably about 20 minutes before it's done. When we noticed our green beans are getting soft in about an hour, hour and a half to the right consistency we want, we'll add our potatoes in, let that cook about 20 minutes to soak up those flavors. All right, now it is time to add our potatoes. You can see our green beans has cooked down there. They've got soft. We're going to add in our potatoes. Give that a stir so everybody's in the juice. Now, I cut my potatoes in half so it'll soak up those flavors that's in the green beans. Okay, we'll let those cook for about 20 minutes and come back, and then we'll try our beans. Okay, now it's been 20 minutes. We're going to turn our fire off. Our potatoes are done. They're good and tender. Our beans are done. You can see our ham, everything in there in our gruel that's nice and tasty. Now we're going to try some. All right, our green beans are done. Let's give them a taste. Great. Good ham, potatoes, green beans, you can't go wrong. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. This is our first video. If you'd like us to cook something, see us cook something, leave it in the comments. All right, until next time, have a good one.